Welcome to the You Decide podcast. I'm Dr. Tiffany. We are going to bring you stories of ordinary people who have chosen to live an extraordinary life, outside of their comfort zones and into confidence, possibility, and certainty. You are just one decision away from living your most aligned life, because let's get real, that's what we all want. Hello, friends. We have Cal back today. Today we're going to talk about how to recharge, and number one, how to know when you need to, and number two, how to know what you need to do to recharge. I feel like so many of us determine our personality, or like, are we an introvert, are we an extrovert? How do we need to get that energy back into us? We take that sometimes a little too literally or too much of a blanket statement. So we're going to talk today about, Callan's always been very aware, and in middle school was probably the first time, I'd say sixth grade, right, Cal?
Yeah. For what?
Oh yeah, right. I didn't say the whole sentence. Hey, by the way, guys, it's the first time we've done a Zoom link, and she's a little bit of a rookie. So, okay, the first time that you felt you needed to recharge more than normal, like elementary school. I mean, there were times of stress and lack of sleep, and you had a lot of homework in third and fifth grade. But sixth grade was kind of that, like, whoa, there's a lot of things going on in my world. And some of these things I'm not really sure what to do with. That's really stressful. How do I get my energy back so that I can be better everywhere? Would you say sixth grade was that first time?
No. Well, I mean, I started realizing that I needed to find a way to like have more energy. But I would say ninth grade was when I actually started to implement it and find ways to actually do it and feel better. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Well, yeah, it would probably have been beneficial in sixth grade, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Which is all part of growing up and getting more mature and being more responsible. So let's just talk about the signs that you notice when you need to recharge.
I would say I tend to just feel tired all the time. So I used to just think napping was just what I needed to do, but it's actually more of I'm tired because I'm with people too long, or I've kind of just drained my energy. They're doing homework or something like that. So a lot of times it's when I'm like exhausted, and it can be mentally or physically. Mm-hmm. So homework or I've been doing too many things for my body to handle.
So how do you know the difference now in like years of practice? You've really refined this year, I think, in the last 6 months since college started, and soccer and friends and dorms and all the things, right? How do you notice which one and what you need to do for it?
For physically, I can tell my body like aches. I mean, everyone like that's an athlete can tell when their body's sore. So like if I'm physically exhausted, all it takes is laying down or like not moving. So chilling, laying on the couch, something like that, where you kind of just aren't expected to do anything and you can just be. Whereas mentally, like it's a different type of tired. Like I would say for me, it's like lethargic, or I get super irritated. So any little thing that someone does, like if I'm around people too long, or if there's just too much interaction, I just get irritated, or I start to be snippy. So I can physically tell like how I respond to people or how I feel inside if I have like turmoil. That's kind of my sign that I need to just like do my own thing and without anyone. So when I'm mentally exhausted, I need like my own, like no one is interrupting me. I'm alone in my room. I'm doing laundry or watching Netflix or something like that.
Interesting. So before, you would think you weren't able to differentiate it, and you would think you just needed a nap all the time, right?
Yeah.
And did the naps always help?
No, because if it was mentally exhausted, I would get up and I was still like
Exactly.
in the same spot. Whereas physically, like when I'm physically exhausted, a nap really helps me recharge. Even if it's 30 minutes or an hour, like then it can really turn my day around.
Yes, so that is super interesting because I believe the majority of our exhaustion is not physical because most people are not doing what you're doing.
Right.
So the majority of people that are listening, even if it's middle school, high school, college, most people don't have the physical demands that you have in college soccer right now. That doesn't mean that they don't maybe get run down or so they have other physical stuff starting to get sick. A nap will obviously help, but the majority of people's exhaustion is mental and emotional.
Yes.
And you used to just go sleep. You could have slept freaking all day.
Mm-hmm. Well, part of like,
and that was like your escape, right?
right. And part of the mental is like trying to release the like irritation and the tension in your mind. So when you sleep, that's not, I mean, you're just laying there and I don't know, you're not releasing or doing anything. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. This is super helpful. You've come so far.
Yes.
Well, you have. Because when I started with people get that confused with their personality, what I mean is it would be really easy for you to think you're not an extrovert because how you recharge needs to be alone. Some people need to recharge with people, right? They're social, they need to go out, they need to have a party, they need to go to a game, they need to whatever. That's how they recharge. You recharge alone, but doesn't mean you're not an extrovert though.
Right.
So people get their personalities confused with how they need to recharge because I imagine people who know you, especially the ones that are close friends to you that you can talk openly about, hey, when I just say I need to go to my room, it's just I need to recharge. I feel overwhelmed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas they would think that you're an introvert and you always like to be alone.
Right.
Right. So did you think that?
I thought I was always an extrovert. Everyone says I am. So all my friends, like I'm very social, not going in the first person to say hi to someone, like I don't know, very social in that aspect, but it doesn't mean that I find my energy and my power from being with people. Like I like being with people, but it isn't about that's what I would prefer to release energy. So yeah. I've learned that just because someone is social or someone is quiet, that doesn't list them as an introvert or list them as an extrovert.
Yeah. See, that is super awesome. Good awareness. Okay, when you just a few other little tips that you've maybe adopted that can help some people besides I mean, like we're going to talk about mental and emotional because physical we know I need sleep or you do. What are some things that have helped release that? What things when you are mentally and emotionally exhausted or irritated or tapped, right? What helps you get back to balance?
I found that writing helps me, especially if I can find a trend in like the same things that irritate me, or like if it's a certain person that the time of the day, if I'm like mentally done from school, if a certain, not so much characteristic, but kind of like if I can find my triggers, it helps me try to like get over that and avoid it. So I would say, I don't know. Yeah, journaling and writing just about my feelings, and then like coloring or like self-care I have found is super helpful, like doing my nails or doing a face mask that is just like me taking care of myself and getting myself back to feeling good, I found that's the most helpful.
Yeah, awesome. What about, one thing that you kind of forced the shift was how you take care of yourself like throughout the day, because it's anybody who, this doesn't matter, I guess, what age you are, but when you have practice at 3:00 in the afternoon, or you have a game, or you're gonna exercise with your friend at noon, it's really easy to kind of get in a slump of maybe showering but not doing anything with yourself and wearing sweats, or maybe not even showering and putting a hat on, or kind of just in, I don't know, lounge wear, nap wear the whole time. Can you share the difference that you've experienced between that approach and then where you are now?
Yeah, it's interesting because first semester, so that was our main soccer season. So fall is the main college soccer season. Well, we have practice every day and we lift 2 times a week and we play games on the weekends. So like you're just physically exhausted. So most of us soccer players in class were all wearing sweats because you wake up in the morning and you put whatever's closest to you on and you're just trying to get through the day. You're just exhausted. Well, I found that like I feel exhausted when I'm in sweats. So this semester, my New Year's resolution was to dress cute. And it kind of sounds cheesy, but I found that like even putting jeans on and like even a sweatshirt and cute shoes, or just trying to put myself together a little bit, it makes me feel like I'm not tired and that I feel so much better about myself that I'm not afraid to like go in public and show that I'm not wearing sweats.
Right. Or like how easy is it to nap when you feel like you're already in your jammies?
Right. Yep.
Right. Versus go out to eat or go to the cafeteria or go to the library and study. You just want to go right back to your dorm room and just rest and chill, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Did you go through stages like that in high school at all?
I didn't have enough motivation to do it every day.
Got it.
So I felt good, like even game days, I tried to dress cute or something so my performance felt better. Like I just felt I had a good day. I looked cute. And when we look cute and we put ourselves together, I feel like everyone feels more confident and they feel happier kind of.
Mm-hmm. And so like anybody who's maybe trying to eat better, think of that one, right?
Right.
You're going to eat differently in your big old elastic sweats and oversized sweatshirt, or in a nicer outfit that you feel good in.
Right.
Right. It's huge. And it doesn't matter what age that is. Women struggle with that same thing. I think even just on a daily basis, how important it is to put your best foot forward, showering and getting ready, and if makeup makes you feel beautiful, or if putting perfume on or lipstick or whatever your thing is, no matter what anyone says about it, is what you do, knowing that this is going to be one of the things that makes you feel great about yourself from the inside, right?
Right.
Like nails for you is something that makes you feel really good even though you're broke.
Right. But it's something that's worth it to me. It's more than just the $40. It's the feeling of every day my outfit. Yeah.
I love it. See, that's what it was probably a year ago. I think did I write a blog on splurges? So the from the outside, if you look at a woman who has awesome shoes on, has eyelashes, has nails, has whatever their thing is, from the outside, you may say that person is high maintenance or spends a lot of money on herself or shallow even, where that's likely not the case. That it is that is what makes her feel beautiful from the inside out, right?
Right. And that's not our point to judge, because we might think it's high maintenance or we might think it's pointless to spend this much money, but sometimes the money is far less than what it's actually giving us, the worth of it.
Yeah.
So we can't judge anyone else's one object or one thing they do for themselves that makes them feel good.
Yeah, you're a wise soul. Okay, do you want to leave them with anything else on recharging, on showing up to be your best?
I would just say that don't be afraid to set your boundaries when you feel mentally exhausted. It's a big thing that's now it's being more accepted that it's okay that we are feeling mentally tired or we feel sad or those things. So don't be afraid to be open with your friends and your family and be like, hey, today I just need a break, or I just need to be alone and do this thing. There's nothing wrong with taking your own time and energy to make yourself feel better, because your friends are going to appreciate it also when you're feeling better and you're yourself instead of the irritated person when you're mentally exhausted. So just being open with your friends and setting boundaries.
I love it. And I would say, the same thing for women in a marriage or partnership. As a mom, I'll talk about that a little bit later when I go through my rendition of this, just for women. But it's all the same. Setting boundaries is the biggest thing. So when you don't have the courage to say what you're feeling, or you don't feel like they will support you, then you need to have another conversation, right?
Right. And if they can't support you, then it goes back to friendship. And I don't know. I think friends should be supportive, and no matter what they think is right or wrong, like if that's what the person needs, I feel like every friend should support that. So
yeah,
that's their issue if they can't.
Right. Love it. Okay, kid, anything else?
Nope.
Okay, signing off for now, crew. Have an awesome day.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening and being willing to go all in. Ditch the excuses and the comfort zones and make a decision that nothing can stop you. You can find the show notes below, and I'd love for you to share, subscribe, and rate this podcast, but only if you love it.